You do the starting bit. You're so good at that.
Thank you for joining, everyone, on Twitch and probably also on YouTube. Welcome to our fourth podcast, the RIP podcast. I am Twinsen TV, and this is my lovely co-host, AnotherXeo.
Hello. Lovely. Ooh.
Lovely
Quite
co-host,
nice.
of course.
Lovely.
I just wanted to make a professional intro. And today we are going to talk about the patch notes from 0.5, Return of the Ancients, I think. Yes. Path of Exile 2. We both have a bunch of bullet points that we want to bring up and have a little bit of a open discussion between us and the chat.
Chinwag.
Chinwag?
Chinwag. It's like a discussion.
That's what it's called anyways.
Is it Cockney? Is it Cockney London? It's kind of like a chinwag. So
I have no idea.
Means like a light chit chat, chinwag.
No, you know, guys. So yeah,
start it off.
Yeah.
How did you feel overall?
So my overall point of view is positive. I think it's a good patch. I would have liked to see more. There are a lot of balanced things that I would have preferred to see, but overall, I have a positive outlook for the next season. Don't want to go too far into detail, but I think I'm not looking at the patch notes and I'm like, oh my god, next season is just gonna be 2 days and then I'm going to play RimWorld. That's not what I'm thinking when I look at the patch notes. I think like, yeah, it's gonna be fun to play all the quest lines. Try the new ascendancies at some point. Gonna be fun, yeah. And what about you?
I think I fell asleep again. I wasn't too sure. I got caught sleeping on camera again. That's what happens when you're pushing 50. It was almost oh god, okay, this is harsh because I'm fighting whether to be honest about how I truly feel about things, or do I have to toe the PoE community tightrope, don't want to get clipped, and then get hung out to dry by another content creator, blah, 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 blah. So I'm struggling with this because my initial reaction was meh. It was like reading patch notes of a bag of fish and chips. Back in the old days, we used to wrap fish and chips up in newspaper. So you actually use local newspapers. So that's how fish and chips used to get presented. So it was like reading the patch notes while trying to eat some fish and chips, and you're like, I can't really get into this because I'm enjoying my fish and chips. I don't know if that metaphor anybody will understand that, especially if you're not British. Chip paper, that's what they used to call it. It used to be newspapers, like whatever your major newspaper publication is in Germany. Name me a newspaper in Germany.
Yeah.
Like, they used to wrap fish and chips in that.
Yes.
Yeah. So reading the patch notes was like looking at chip paper. Covered in grease. It's got chips on it. It's got fish. And you're trying to read the newspaper article was like trying to read the patch notes. I kind of looked in and went, I'm not that interested. I just want my fish and chips.
Okay. I think I don't know. I had like
pretty much.
I have 1-2 really big points that I'm very disappointed about. But overall, I really thought there's a lot of good stuff in the patch notes. I just don't know, like the outlook is like 6-7 months, right, for 1.0. Like I'm not gonna play 6-7 months in this patch. That's not gonna happen. So that's what
probably half that time. Probably 3 months.
It's a bit disappointing, I think, that it felt like they announced there will be no patch. And I mean, I'm sure they will do small patches, like we have now.
They're doing small league resets. Yeah. They're doing league resets.
Yeah,
so
but
that's cool.
But I hope there will be more stuff implemented in the meantime, and not just everything on 0.2 suddenly.
They said they're going to be adding bits. It's not going to be as like a proper league type thing, but they'll add bits.
Yeah.
And I think they're not stupid. They'll have to keep feeding you, just little bits. A chip. They'll feed you a potato chip or two. They won't give you all the fish and chips, but they'll just give you the odd chip to keep you interested.
I mean, there will be 2 PoE 1 seasons in between this patch and 0.1. That's
Oh,
how long
God.
the delay is.
Actually, do you know what? I forgot about PoE 1. And that's not even entered my mind.
Actually,
God.
July will be the next PoE 1 season. So like a month after, if they keep the schedule, right? If they keep the schedule.
Oh.
Then it's been 4
I want to
months.
go back to I want to go back to my fish and chips thing before we move on to that scheduling thing, because that's quite interesting. Because I think there'll be some tiers on that. I think they might delay PoE 1 League launch, because if they've only got this patch, which is huge for PoE 2, and there are tons of bug fixes and changes they're doing, but then I heard they got a dedicated team, so they may not be pulling resources away from PoE 1. I'm not too sure.
I don't know. I'm just worried about that they actually release PoE 1 the next season, like 1 month after PoE 2, and 1 month is really with so many changes to the end game. I'm not sure if I finished everything I want to do in 1 month. Probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
I prefer the 2 months, and then after 1.5 months, usually everything is done. But 1 month is a little bit tight time-wise. So we will see.
I'll go back to my fish and chips thing. I'll put it into a bit more directness. I literally had three things that I took away from that were, and this is my issue. And there's another content guy did a video. I don't really particularly like it, but kind of get what he was saying. I'm not overly inspired by builds at the moment, because the numbers are not there. When you put like 100 runes, you go, okay, what are these runes? Because I have this build idea for this thing. Let's say Zealot's Oath, and you want to do energy recharge, life regen. It's like, okay, these 100 new runes, is there going to be the stuff I need to make that actual mechanic, that build work? We don't know. Probably not. But the point being is you don't know. So it's like, well, I can't commit to thinking up a Zealot's Oath build.
No.
Because I don't know the numbers or the stats, what's in those patch notes. So when you're reading it, you're kind of, it's a bit like spirit tomes. That's blown up because of one change to a keystone. So the whole community is talking about spell totems now. So there is something that's changed in it that makes it extremely interesting and viable. That's what I wanted to get from the patch notes. And I'm a spell totems fan from PoE 1. I do enjoy it, but it's like, that's the feeling I wanted, where you see something, go, oh, I can build something around that. The problem is 0.5 patch notes, there was none of that for me. There was one thing that I saw, thought, oh, I could do something. Excuse me, I could do something. So that's why I come back with meh, because content-wise, it's huge. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so cool. I think it's going to be lots of fun. It's going to be a real adventure, which action ARPGs should be an adventure. And I think it's a win-win. But 0.5 patch notes, I was trying to look for inspiration for a build idea, and I couldn't find any. Well, I found one, but I'm still not entirely convinced. So that's why I say meh. So I thought I'd explain my fish and chips.
Yeah, I think what you actually what you need for that is more the data mined informations after the patch is out. That's what you're looking for.
Because I'm looking at Gemlin. I'm a big Gemlin fan.
Yeah.
It's
you need to know all the gems to actually make a build around that.
Because that's not there. It's
not gonna happen.
And that's why I kind of go, right, well, I can't get into the excitement. Perhaps I'm being selfish here, and I'm only thinking about me because it's my own gaming experience, but I can't get hyped. I can't get into that. Oh, if I did this and I took, oh, maybe I could build it here, and oh, look at that support gem, and and oh, maybe, and you're doing all the puzzle things with all that lot. That's not overly there for me, because the class that I want to play, there's 200 gems that we don't have that information. So it's like, but that's my own experience. That's not everybody's experience. Definitely not. So that's why, for me, it's a bit meh.
Yeah, but in the past, this has always been like this. I mean, for example, they do not release the passive skill tree, the new one, if they make a lot of changes. Like last patch, they also didn't do that. And there was a lot of talk about, like, it's hard to make a build because you do not know all the new passive skills. Like for the druid in the top left, they made a lot of changes, and they have this secret passing for the oracle, and there was a lot of talk about how to make any kind of build if you don't release this information. They basically never release that information until patch day, and it's just how it is, right? So
no, I understand that, but again, just because I think this league, I know they've got 2 ascendancies in there, but they are 2 existing classes, and the archetypes of a melee fist monk is already in the game, but now you've got a dedicated ascendancy to it, which is great. The Spiritborn is still a spear based, blah blah blah. So you you're looking with the druid and stuff. It was kind of like you know it was coming, and you didn't know what the information was, but that was okay. But because there's nothing like the druid coming in this patch, that's why it's harder. I think some people, not a lot of people. I've got to be careful what I say here. There are some people in the community which I understand. I'm one of those, and I could be the 1 out of a million that, because there isn't anything new like a paladin or paladin, Templar, or duelist, or whatever you call shadow, you're thinking, I've got 6 months now of trying to do the build, which a lot of people have already done quite a few bits. I haven't done everything, by the way. I haven't played a monk yet, but I have done ranger, I have done merc, I have done warrior, I have done a caster. So I'm looking at all those weapons, and I'm like, but a core staff, it's just not for me. It's not my power fantasy. I don't look at myself and think I've got a stick. I want to look at myself and go, I've got a great sword, or I've got a crossbow, or I've got a bow, if you get what I mean. So that's why I was just a bit meh, because I have nothing in there, because I want to play electrocute build. There's 3 support gems for electrocute, and you look on the passive tree and you try and make it work. It's really, really difficult to make it work, because you think, well, if I do this and do this, is it actually going to stack up, or is it going to do enough damage, or blah blah blah. It probably can, by the way. I'm being a bit defeatist, but come back to again. I thought there was going to be some electrocute stuff in there, but there's 3 support gems and about 3 skills. Like voltaic grenades do electrocution.
Yeah.
And you're looking at going, is that a good clear skill? Probably not, but
well, there might be runes and stuff for that, but we don't know.
Exactly, and that's where I was hoping to try and do something different for my own gaming experience.
Yeah.
It's not quite there, but day one is going to be totally different. Get access to Gemlin, then I can cook, then I'll be happy. But just my how I thought about it was just meh.
This is why I think it's usually the Leaguestarter is something that, you know, it works, kind of works. What you should start with for the first day, starting to farm your currency, farm some items, and then after the dust has settled, the first, like, you can either check it out yourself, or other people already are looking through the new items and are like, okay, we can do this, we can do that, we can do that. That's probably how it's been always on PoE. The thing with PoE 1 is, because there's so much more stuff in there, it does not really matter that if you know the new stuff or not that much. You can just make a build, and because you will probably have the stuff for that, you do not need the new stuff.
Yeah.
But in PoE 2, there's so much changes now, and there's so much new stuff coming that there's, you can either take an old build, which might not work anymore because it changed. But it's maybe not everything is available to just fulfill your power fantasy. Well, in PoE 1, that's probably the case. Probably you don't need the new stuff that comes with the new season. You can just, I want to play this. And there's probably already something in the game that will fulfill this role. So you can play this as a league starter, and then maybe later play the new stuff if you want to. Yeah. And maybe that's a little bit of the problem of PoE 2.
Yeah, that's kind of, I'm not inspired. On day one, I will be inspired. But then I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of a bit like that with 0.4. The only thing that saved me, I think, really in 0.4 was Vrashta. They dropped that, I think, 48 hours before League launch and went, here's a new ascendancy for the Sorcerer, Vrashta. I looked at it, and hardcore-wise, I was like, oh my god, look at the energy shield stuff on that. Brilliant. I'll play that. But that was the spark to go with it. Never played a caster in my life on PoE 2, so I was just like, I've been playing crossbows and spears. Brilliant. So I had that sudden burst of excitement or drive to go, yeah, I'll play that. And then I went in blind, and then I had fun. I had a brilliant. This has been my favorite league so far. Just at the moment, 0.5 hasn't given me that, so I'm waiting for that, and it will come. It definitely will come. I'm not going to be negative. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm
So
waiting to be inspired.
Well,
It sounds so selfish, doesn't it? And so arrogant. I'm waiting to be inspired.
so that's probably why my list of stuff is longer than yours.
Yeah. I actually probably made down. I had 3 things that I picked out that I looked at. I mean, do you want to go on the positive stuff? You go first.
I have mostly positive stuff, I think. But yeah, let's just get out some
okay,
points.
here we go. Do you want to start on our positive stuff and end on our negative, or start on our negative and end on the positive?
I don't care. I just go through the list.
Go for it.
Whatever is at the end.
Mine starts off at negative.
Let's start off with some interesting stuff in the game. And it's not everything is like a 20-minute topic, but some small things. Like, for example, what I didn't realize, what they wrote in the patch notes, is that when they announced Runic-Ward, they said you just slap it on and you get Runic-Ward, right? But the patch notes say that when you use it on items higher level 55, you actually lose defenses. Like you lose armor, you lose armor or evasion or something. So it's a trade-off. That's just a little thing I saw.
Well, only on uniques.
No. On all items.
It said unique items.
No, it says all. Really? Okay, let's check that.
Yeah, because I thought that and then read it properly, and I could be wrong, but oh god, here we go.
Okay, let's try my amazing content page.
Oh no, you're right. I read the sentence: upgrade unique weapons. Oh, that's weapons. And upgraded armor. Unique armors above 55 can be reforged to modify the defenses to include Runic-Ward at the cost of reduce. Yeah. So I believe it's just uniques.
No, that's not the point. Let me see. Of course, I should have made markers, but here it is under the runes of Elder League, and it says after unlocking the Delirium Fortschrittsbalken in Act 1, this system allows you to add Runic-Ward to your armors by spending the Visium. Armors lower than level 55 gain Runic-Ward with no downside. Armors above this level trade some of their regular base defense for Runic-Ward. It's under the runes of Elder League, the 7th or 8th chapter. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's actually in just after our biggest expansion ever.
Yeah, I can see that in that line. If you read three lines down, it says after unlocking unique.
Yes.
Oh, it's unique one. See, I read that. I completely missed.
Yeah, that's another that's another topic. The one after unlocking the Delirium Fortschrittsbalken in Act 3.
So I'm getting my wires crossed.
It's just what I noticed. Like, this is the first one just basically talks about all armor. The one that they showed.
I missed that one.
It's just a small thing.
Well, it was only the 5th one down and I missed it.
It's fine. You were asleep. It's okay. It's just what I noticed is that at first I thought you just slam it on everyone and everything, but actually it's a trade-off. Depend on how much armor you lose here.
But they've buffed armor. Is that
by 15%, yes.
Mm.
Well, that's just one of my I just thought it's interesting because when they showed it sounded like it's simply a buff for everything. Like you can use Runic-Ward on everything and you will just get it for free. If you don't use it, you just have additional life.
It's in the bank. Job done. Here's extra 500 ward.
Yeah, but that's not the case. You actually pay armor or evasion for it.
So you lose defenses for a little bit more security.
I mean, you lose defensive for more defenses. So I'm not sure if that is, who knows if that is a good trade or not.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay. The next one I
Next.
have, next one is the fluxes that allow you to change resistances. It's actually, it's
a win.
It's absolutely amazing. Finally, it's the harvest resistance swap mechanic from Path of Exile 1, basically. Now, who knows how rare this is, but I assume you will find this 2-3 times a day if you play the whole day or something. I don't think it's going to be super rare, and it will give you, it's going to be so much quality of life, especially in SSF. It's just so amazing. Finally, I remember how often you have, like your stash is full of rings, because you need a ring for everything. Like you need a ring for every kind of resistance that you need to change in your gear, even with runes. Sometimes your gear can shift heavily into like fire resistance or lightning resistance, and then even the runes cannot fix it. And you don't want to use your runes to fix it. You actually want to use your runes for other stuff. For life, damage, cooldown recovery, I don't know what.
I'm going to be really negative. Do you reckon it'll probably have the same rarity as the Omens of Harmonida, James, and whatever the boxing name?
You mean this one?
They're going to have those. Yeah, these remnants or influxes, whatever they are. You are right. It's down to the rarity. Are they going to have like omen rarity type stuff?
I don't think so. I think even if that's the case, it's still okay-ish. Because to be in the late game, to be able to use your best roll tier 1 armor, I think it's worth to use it for that item. Later, I mean, you do not have to swap items around all the time in the super late game. But
question, is it going to be advanced crafting, or is it going to be regular crafting?
I hope it's regular crafting. I don't hope that it's so rare that you only find it once a week or something. I hope it's regular crafting.
Like a Hinacorda's lock. Like rarity, like Hinacorda's lock.
No, that's ridiculous.
I've got one.
Yeah, I also had one. That would do completely. Then this is useless. I would assume this is more on the greater exalted level, maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So you have like after I don't know 10 in a week or something. I don't think this is rare.
Next.
The next positive point I wrote down that I really enjoy and that will give us a lot of flexibility is the 60 runes that can suck out unique powers, which is actually...
Did you just say suck out?
Yes.
Unique powers?
Yes, that's how I imagine it.
Is that their terminology or yours?
No. I don't think they explain how it works or how you get them, but you can create runes from uniques, and you have one of the powers from the unique in a rune and can just socket it somewhere else.
What? How come I missed that?
You didn't read that? It's just under the fluxes. If you're it's like I think five chapters under the resume thingy on the same page on the patch notes. It says edit 60 plus runes, 60 plus, that can be created by destroying a unique to make a rune that gains some of its properties.
I can't wait for this, League. Log in. I'm inspired.
So I think this one is so amazing. It depends a little bit which powers, but imagine there are so many uniques that actually have an amazing special ability, but you cannot use the unique because it's complete garbage. Right? Sometimes, like for example, I played Spell Totems last season with Volt's Protector. It's an armor which generates power charges on critical strikes. That is a very unique ability. But the armor is complete garbage. You only use this for this one mod. The armor is complete garbage. You give up your whole chess piece slot just for this ability. And maybe it's now possible to extract this and put it somewhere else in your gear. That's so amazing. Like you can do so much stuff with this problem.
Yeah, because you can transfer Unique's power onto a better rare
item,
type. Yeah.
This is so good.
ES, evasion, armor, whatever.
Yeah.
How come I missed that?
I don't know. But this is build defining, basically.
It
depends a little
my
bit.
chat's let me down.
If all the good powers are not part of this and it's only trash, then okay, whatever. Then it's useless. But I imagine there are a lot of things in Unix that you never use because the Unix suck. But if you actually have this power from the Unix, you would actually use that.
Onto a weapon with a decent weapon base or onto a pair of gloves. Yeah, actually, do you know what? Oh my God, I can do my electrocute build. See, that was the moment. I needed that little dopamine hit of an idea where I go, oh, like that. Because there's a set of gloves, okay, that's got lightning damage, builds up electrocution.
Yes.
But they're on a set of gloves that's got minus 16% cast and attack speed on it. I'm like, and they're on a low energy shield base or the wrong type of armor base, like hybrid or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to give up energy shield and armor for that. But the property is awesome, but the rest of it's all garbage around it. And it's like, and now I can put that on a set of gloves. Oh my God, I could do electric.
If this is part of the runes, we don't know. We only know when the patch drops and we have the data mine informations.
What do you mean by part of the runes? What, 16 runes?
Well, 60 plus runes. So I assume
60 plus,
60 to 70 to maybe who knows how many properties. So not all properties of all the Unix are part of this system. That's what I read into
those
this.
gloves are like low levels, so that's awesome. If it's something like, I don't know, Headhunter, that probably wouldn't, because you devalue Headhunter.
Maybe it's a chance only. Like, we don't know how the system works. Maybe you have to sacrifice a Unique, right? You have to destroy it. So maybe there's only a chance to get the right property from Headhunter, right? You can, like, getting the Headhunter, the right one is only like a 5% chance. So you have to sacrifice like 20 Headhunters before you get this property. So I could imagine.
That's amazing. That's an item sink. But also, you start collecting uniques.
Yes. Yeah. And you collect all kind of trash uniques.
How it's going to work.
Because you want to have the powers, right? I think this is
is that how it's going to work, or are you sort of slightly guessing?
We don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's maybe someone else knows in chat or something. If there was an announcement for this, but it just says you destroy a unique and you get it as a rune.
Yeah. So the only thing we don't know is what does it take to be able to do that? Is there an entry level or resource?
Is it fixed per unique, so you only can extract certain powers that are pre-fixed by GGG?
I know. They removed the recombinator out, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Which is another.
That could be
another point.
They've replaced something that's like for this league that can do that to do the extraction or the suck out, as you called it. I don't know how you got that, but
that's what you do, right? You suck out the unique power from the item.
I probably wouldn't use the word. Okay, I probably wouldn't use the word suck. I probably would extract.
Yes.
That sounded like sucking then. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, that's, I think, one of the biggest plus that I've wrote down. I really
Okay, now I'm interested. Okay, you're convincing me again now.
The next one I wrote down that I thought was just a very small one, a very quick one. Every boss has a quest version. I think that's cool. I like that. So you have like a training version that you can do, and then after that you do the stronger version. They kind of do this in PoE 1 too, so I like that.
Sure.
I like that you can do now in Breach catalysts from the Genesis tree, and they do no longer drop from monsters. So
they become a currency drop.
They no longer drop from monsters. Catalysts are now from the Genesis tree. So you have to generate catalysts in the Genesis tree.
They don't drop with Zest. He has that one big drop before you fight.
They don't. It says in the patch notes, catalysts don't drop from monsters, and they are now part of the Genesis tree. And nice. I think that's good, because I assume, we don't know, but I assume you can actually select which, like, you remember the Genesis tree where you can increase the chance for stuff to drop?
Yep.
And I think you can do this for catalysts too. You can say, like, okay, I want defensive catalyst, so it has like a 5,000% increased chance to actually generate a defensive catalyst or something. Yeah. I assume that this is how it will work. I like that, because now you can actually try to get the catalyst you want and not just have a huge bunch of random catalysts lying around that you don't need. I like that.
Okay.
I like that when we do ritual now, that the tribute you do not use is always going for the invitation of the king. You know, right? Like
Sure.
in ritual, when the problem I always had with ritual is
Yeah.
like you roll and you're like, I don't want to spend my stuff because on the next side is something the one I'm looking for, and you keep rolling, and then you're on the last page and you still have all your tribute and you didn't use it.
Yeah.
That happened a lot to me, and now it just goes all to the invitation of the king. So basically,
Yeah, that's
you
good.
never waste that. I like that.
I'm never doing kill and miss. Fuck him. He kills me because I can't solve the maze because I freak out and panic.
Yeah, but I think I think ritual overall is better now that they removed all the rare
Yeah,
items.
no, I
And
agree with you. And it's a unique place to farm uniques that
yeah,
you
uniques
can.
and omens. I really like that they
Yeah.
removed the rares, because it was always this,
Yeah.
like, I never looked at the rares. I was always like, oh, where are the omens? Where are
Oh,
the
the rest were
omens?
dog. I mean, if you were like bored one day and then you kind of accidentally hovered over a rare, but
Yes.
I think out of 3,000 hours, I may have had one rare that I come.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was always complete useless. Like, what's the chance of there being a good rare in there, right?
That's what gambling's for.
Yeah. So now I will end with a negative. I have more points, but I will end with a negative one, and then we can maybe look at 1-2 points from you. Recombinator deactivated. You mentioned that. I don't understand why. When I read that in the patch notes, I was like, what the fuck? Because I think the recombinator itself has never been broken or anything or imbalanced. Like, if you try to recombine more than 2 stats together, you have like a 1.2% chance for it to work.
Which you don't bother.
Yeah. So even if you recombine 2 amazing stats together, like +5 spell damage and
Yeah,
plus
T1, T1.
like, yeah, it goes down to like a 3% chance. And I used it very often to generate armor that starts with 2 tier 1 prefixes, which is already only like a 20 or 15% chance. Like, you have to throw a lot in to get your craft start. And it's just the start of a crafting, right? You have a 2 affix item. So I do not understand, especially for SSF. This is very annoying for SSF. Why they do that? Like, I don't see the reason.
I do.
You do? Tell me.
Yes.
Enlighten me.
Well, because the recombinator technically sucks. Because if you think about it, you only use it to forge two prefixes, or like T1, T2. So if you're making some armor, I mean, if you go T1, T2, you've got more of a chance of being able to merge it. But if you spend the time farming armors and stuff and get 10 of them, then one of them is probably more likely to hit. And the Omen of Resurgence, or whatever it's called, not Resurgence,
Recombination.
Expedition Omen, they've removed that now. But anyway,
yeah.
And the other way you would use it, if you were swapping your +3 skills amulet onto another base, if you wanted to do that, if you're really min-maxing and you want to move it onto a spirit base.
You could use that, yes.
Yeah, T10 with the T1 and then
Yes.
just moving there. And so it's good. But if you think about it in general, that's all it's used for.
Yes, I understand.
So if you think about all the functionality that has, because you see on PoE 1, and I've seen it on these clip things and streams where they try and merge, 6 mods together, then that's awesome because you're having that chance. I don't know what the stats are for the PoE 1 because I never tried it. But in PoE 2, the only thing you use the recombinator for is one thing. That's just a couple of Tim, whatever it is, and maybe your +3 skill moving it onto another amulet, or if you bricked it and then you're trying to save it, then you're moving it on. That's it. So for me, it's pretty useless. But I can understand they removed it because if you're introducing all this crafting into there, you shouldn't really need to, in theory, this is how I'm guessing, you shouldn't really need to recon because you've got 100+ runes, you've got this, you've got that, you've got that. So it will probably go redundant. But for SSF for us, yes, it's a useful tool for us to get decent base items, especially for your armors and things. But if the crafting is supposed to be so delicious and so good, then I think it's going to get reworked and relooked at, and then come back at a different league or in a different way. But again, as I said, we only do it for 2 runes, a bit of armor, and maybe +3 skills amulet. That's it. So for me, it's pretty useless in a weird way, but it's not.
Yeah, as Skelly just said, like he hates collecting single mod blue items. I actually think that it is much better in SSF than it's in trade. I'm not even sure if people use it in trade. In SSF, it's actually very, very good.
Because the farmer does. He was crying. Honestly, he had a saucer of milk and he was definitely crying into it. And I felt for him. I nearly subbed to him. Nearly did. I thought I'll chuck him £5.
I mean, you could with the combinator. With the combinator, you could basically guarantee three tier 1 armor pieces. Like you could start with hybrid and percentage or something on tier 1, and then desecrate the third prefix, which you can reroll as much as you want until you hit tier 1. And then you use a perfect essence in the suffix to guarantee like a force affix on your item. So this is actually very good crafting for SSF. Like you have a 4.
Oh no, it's amazing. By the way, it's really good. I use Recombinate all the time. But
okay.
And it's only got one functionality use.
Yeah, but that's fine. Exalted Orbs also only have one function. Like they add an
That's
affix.
different. That's a mod. That's not an actual crafting tool. Look at my best example: crafting bench PoE 1. Multiple things you can do with it. Recombinator, you do it for one thing, which is just 2 mods together. You don't even do the other 3. You don't even think, do you know what, I'm going to do it with 3. Because unless you are a softcore trader, you might go and buy 50 items and think, do you know what, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to throw some dice and other. But for SSF, you only use it for one reason. So I just think if you've got all this new crafting coming in, they know the combinations, what's possible. They probably have thought out the step process of like, how does this person make their end game gear? It probably won't need or require a combinator.
Yeah,
that's my line of thinking.
The best part of the combinator was recycling failed to medical crafts. That's a good point. What the chat said.
Best part of the combinator was recycling failed medical crafts.
Yeah,
that's true.
I like that.
That is true. That's 3 points now.
Yeah, I also like that it improved all the use of ground loot, like actually picking up ground loot, like rares. Often rares are not so good as blue items because blue items have a higher potential for crafting. Rares usually are whatever. But you can pick up rares, and if they have a tier 1 prefix, you can use it in the combinator to start a crafting process. And I enjoyed that you have this ability.
I did too, because when you pick up an item, you look at its possibilities. This possibly could turn into, or it will help me turn something else into. But I think the Recombinator, in a way, I mean, again, I only did it for armors just to get flat and percentile together. And once that was done, then that was it. But Alcadurgle said that's right. It's good for recycling failed crafts. You think, oh shit, I want to pull that T1 percentage or that T1 res, and now I want to put it. Yeah, you could do. But I didn't do that often. It's like move on. So I can only guess that the new crafting stuff is going to be better, and we won't need it.
I hope so. I will miss the Recombinator, but yeah, maybe we will see. Maybe the rune crafting or whatever is gonna be better. It's gonna be fine. I guess it will be great.
Next.
Yeah, why don't you have give me one of your points?
Really quickly, shock conduction 2 can no longer be obtained. Bad time. Here we go. Sad tears
support gem
of thunderstorm. No longer thunderstorm. We won't be able to instant shock. Shock conduction 2 will apply shock to any wet creatures. So thunderstorm drenches. Drenched targets. So if you have that in there, you will automatically shock any creatures that are drenched. So that means you don't have to put shock chance, and then all you do is just stack shock magnitude. Happy days, 60-70% free damage, and that's how I did it with my Varashta.
That is a support gem, right?
Yes, but it's no longer obtained. So thunderstorm, you're gonna have to have shock chance.
And the first, because you said 2, so like the level 1 version does not have
number 2. Yeah, number 2 is the one where it auto shocks any creatures that are drenched.
Okay.
And thunderstorm drenches. So you get auto shock. So that means you only have to stack shock magnitude, not shock chance, because you don't need that anymore. So my Varashta, level 100, chat, I used it just to get an extra 70% free damage. Because all I did was just cast Thunderstorm, but also it helped with freeze build up because it was 50% freeze build up as well. But what I'm saying is you can't auto shock now. You have to have shock chance. So they've removed the gem. Sad times, but I can understand why they're doing it.
Okay.
I don't want to go too deep into this, but greater and perfect currencies have been made somewhat rarer.
Yes.
I was like, that's not good for SSF.
I don't like that either. In SSF, this is annoying.
And augmentation be made significantly rarer.
Yes.
Greater orbs of transmutation and greater orbs of augmentation now have a minimum modifier level of 44, previously 55. So that's a plus. So that means you can get your greater orbs, you can get better tier rolls on making an item. That 44 plus is Act 4. So Act 4, you can start making it's not tier 2, but a great augmentation orb, making them more accessible. They can begin dropping Act 4. But even with the earlier drops of greater orbs,
but that doesn't
now
matter.
At level
like
44,
who cares if it's Act 3 or Act 4 or Act 5? Doesn't matter in my opinion.
Well, no, it does care, because don't care, but that's a good sign. That's a good thing, because you can start gearing up a bit easier in Act 4. Because if you think Acts 1 to 3, you're on just normal standard orbs. I'm just going to say standard, medium, advanced, or end game. Mid game is really Act 4. When you've done Acts 1 to 3, it's Act 4, but it isn't. It was Act 5. So it was interludes that you started using that, when it's a bit like, well, you're only technically using greater orbs 2s in a shorter period before you get into endgame. So I think it's a great change that you can now start picking up earlier. But what's not a good change is that they've made them rarer.
Yeah, I think for me, maybe this is not the biggest problem, because I often use the augmentation and the transmutation in combination with the Recombinator. Like when you
don't have a Recombinator anymore.
Yeah, when you have a blue item,
it's now a problem.
I often use this to generate tier 1 mods that I want to recombinate after that.
But you don't have the Recombinator now.
Yeah, so maybe it's not a big deal. I also use this very often, like if you have a belt with like a tier 1 resistant, and you use the augmentation to get tier 1 life, hopefully, and then you can finish the craft like putting another resistance on it, desecrating for a third resistance, and you have an amazing belt. But yeah, I never felt I had too much of this stuff.
You're giving up slamming. You're giving up slamming. So you come across white items.
Yeah.
And you throw a greater orb of transmutation to see if you hit a tier 1, tier 2, or maybe tier 3.
Yeah.
And you slam it quickly, and you're like, I don't need it. And you move on. You slam it, and you go, ooh, tier 2. Tier 2 flat fizz. Ooh.
Yeah.
Slam the augmentation. Attack speed. Ooh. And then now you're cooking. But if they're rarer, you're not going to be slamming as much, because now they're rarer. So I was actually watching Mr. Pooh Houston's stream this afternoon. All I kept on hearing him say was, I can't find a decent crossbow. I can't find a decent crossbow. And he just couldn't pick up a base. He couldn't pick up anything that was actually usable. I struggled that with spears, to be honest. Even level 55 and stuff, I struggled to actually get a decent flat fizz spear so I can use for a bleed build, which I've been testing the last couple of days. So if you're making them rarer, you're reducing the possibilities or chances of getting an okay. We're not talking end tier perfect roll type stuff.
Yeah.
But so that's my concern. I don't know how much it's been nerfed, but actually, no, tell you a lie, somewhat rarer. What was that 20% less, 50% less, 5% less? I don't know.
No idea.
But they're making transmutation augmentation being made significantly rarer. So picking up a white base and hopefully you're going to get lucky. Is that going to be? I don't know. Only time will tell. We'll find out.
Usually you would also use this in often in combination with the Recombinator. Like if you find, if you want to,
But you don't have the Recombinator.
Yeah, I know, but this kind of slamming, like you find the right weapon and you slam and you hit like tier 2 physical or something, you probably want to recombinate it with another high physical roll or something like that. Maybe use an essence.
No,
you can also use the essence.
because you just hit it with another augmentation. So you
yeah,
don't
but that
have
is a suffix then, right? So
but
you're
if you get like
suffix.
attack speed
on
a flat fizz, now so then you regal it, and then or you use an essence.
Yeah, you use a physical damage essence, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. But you see what I mean? If you're making those greater orb of augmentations and transmutations made somewhat rarer.
Yeah, you're not going to do this anymore because you don't have the currency.
And okay, so I don't know how bad it might not be. We probably won't even notice it, probably, but it's only what they put in the patch notes that I saw that and thought it's the trade-off making them drop earlier at level 44. So that's Viper. There's somewhere around Viper. If you're a speedrunner like Ergodale, he's there at level 20.
That doesn't matter at all, honestly. Like these are also greater, not perfect.
No, but you've got a better chance of getting a tier 3, not a tier 8 or a tier 5 or a tier 6.
I don't know. I think this will only matter a little bit for your first character. And also only a little bit.
Yeah, but that's the most important character. Because if your first character is not getting to endgame and you keep ripping and you keep ripping, you're not building your stash and you're not growing, you're not getting stronger. Not like you.
I think they
just
could have left that out and not changed the minimum level. I don't think this matters at all. I think this is such a tiny thing.
For me, I think it does matter only due to seeing. I mean, what's somewhat rarer. What we're talking, 50%, 5%, 10%. I don't know.
I mean, it could be somewhat rarer, could be 3%, and significantly rarer could be 10%, and then it's not so bad.
Okay,
but it could also be 50%, right?
Here you go, Mr. PoE 1 man. Are we talking Exalts PoE 2 rare, or are we talking Exalts PoE 1 rare? Because Exalts in PoE 1 is a lot more rarer to drop than they are in PoE 2. They drop like candy. So the question is, and we don't know, you can't answer that. Is it going to be an Exalt PoE drop rate, or is it going to be a PoE 2 type of drop rate? Using the Exalts as an example, I don't know. Because if it is an Exalt kind of drop rate feel,
I don't know.
Then that's going to be rough, but we don't know.
I have no idea.
It does not matter. I fresh start every time I die. He does. So he's going to have a hard time if he's not picking up those graders.
Just migrate every time you die and just restart the league.
Anyway, move on from that one. But I don't know if it's going to be a concern, but it's something that popped up to me and I thought, for SSF.
Shall I give some more points here?
Go ahead.
Okay. The next one is tablets. The fact... Well, first they announced that tablets would basically block other mechanics. And I was a little bit worried about that. Because I thought, if you don't want to do a mechanic, just don't do the mechanic. Why do you need to block it? In PoE 1, blocking a mechanic you can block mechanics on the Atlas tree, but you gain a little bit benefit. Like you gain the chance that other mechanics spawn, like the chance increases. And now with Mirage, you actually want to block mechanics. You want to make sure that only your main mechanics in the Mirage. So it's a little bit different. But in PoE 2, I was always thinking, like, they were like, okay, you put these 3 tablets and no other mechanics spawn. And I was like, why? If I don't want to do the breach, I just run past the breach. If I don't want to do the abyss, I just run past the abyss. There's no reason to block this. Just let me have it if I want to do it in that moment. Because sometimes, like, for example, if I don't farm breach, but sometimes, like, after an hour, I like to do one breach just to get a little bit, like, just to have a little bit of a change in the game. And but they in the patch note it says that if you block mechanics with this, the mechanic you actually have in your game might be bigger or more of it. Let me see where it says. Is it here? Yeah, it says tablets of the same type may now be used together to increase the amount of the league content that it spawned. The specifics of this are different for each content type. In some case, additional multiple tablets will increase the size of a single encounter, while in other cases, it will increase the number of encounters spawned. This is actually what saved this for me, because I thought, okay, now if I want to do breach and I focus on breach with the tablets, then probably an additional breach spawns, or maybe 2, because I have used all the tablets. Not because it's written on the tablets. Like if the tablet says additional breach spawns, that's not what this text says, right? This text says if you use the tablets, more stuff will spawn from this mechanic. And now the tablets might have additional bonuses, right? Might increase the encounter itself. So I'm not so negative about this anymore. I think this will be interesting. So
Okay.
just simply by putting breach tablets, you will have more breaches. Not what's written on the tablets. It's simply by using them.
Okay. I have no idea how tablets or waystones work. I just stick them in there and go, oh, there's chaos extra damage. I'll take that one out. So
yeah, maybe it doesn't really matter. It's maybe in the end it doesn't matter that much. I'm also not sure how much this will increase, like how by what magnitude it will increase. But that's my thing.
I get that. It's about shaping your experience.
Okay. The next point that I actually completely hate, and I don't know why they did that. We are no longer getting more damage when we are moving while we are bleeding.
Oh my god! I've. This is the point that I wanted to be all grumpy. I don't understand. Okay, here we go on this one. I'll say this because I've been practicing this in the shower. Okay, I practice this in the shower. Sure. Right. All I can say based on this is probably what made me go meh. And oh god, I sound so amateur dramatic when I say this, but with Chronomancer and that Ascendancy, with basically you can just, I'm being flippant here, but you can just like, oh, I got a big hit. Well, now I'm back to fine again. It's like an instant health potion, and also with the minus delayed damage type thing. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, I know Varushta is pretty sexy, and it is very sexy, and it's, you know, really good. Once you get to a point, it's really hard to kill. It's only probably a corpse explode that could get you. But I was thinking, oh, that looks like a safe hands build, the Chronomaster for casters. If someone's struggling with casters, hey, play this. Now the problem is, you said something to me about PoE 1 when I did my review, where I gave my feedback playing the game, that most GGG designs this game round, by the way, this is a hardcore podcast, round softcore trade. So all the mechanics and pretty much everything. The hardcore community and player base is very niche. You know, we like to think we're big because a lot of streamers do it, but compared to trade and softball and stuff, we're very, very small. So doing stuff specifically for us does not make a business or gaming design sense. I totally get that. But I feel like they're starting to, I don't want to use the word dumb this game down, but I got worried about the bleed change because it's all started off with the purple flowers. Now I get that they needed to change that because I ripped some purple flower, dead, instant one shot. You were like, what can I do? Now people say dodge it. I totally understand that, but there are some situations where you get backed into a corner and 2 purple flowers pop. So I understand why they nerfed it. I still have PTSD to this day over them, even with chaos inoculation. I still get like, oh shit, I'm dodging those. But I just think, for me as a hardcore experience, having bleed aggravated, it made me think. I was thinking, I was like, oh, I got to stop. Oh no, I got something's going to kill me. Now, you're going to hate me saying this. Going back to the no logout thing, you know the reason why I do no logouts is because I want to play a fair game. You're going to hate me saying this. We can aggravate bleed on the monsters, but the monsters now can't aggravate bleed on us.
Yeah, true.
True. So for me, it's not a fair game because I know there's a mechanic in the game that swings to the player's favor and not the monsters. So it actually hits my core ethics here because I'm like, well, it's an easy win. Like, it's on easy mode now because the great thing about the bleed was is there's ascendances like Smith that has the alignment immunity. Now that's devalued that. I mean, obviously, immune to ignite is great and poison, but it's now devalued that ascendancy. It's also devalued a passive where if you the mercenary, if you wear a helm, you can get immune bleed or poison. Well, that's been now devalued. You had a problem to solve in the game. You get a bleed charm, and then you think, oh, do you know, it's now taken the risk out of the game, and I'm very sad about it because irritating or I would love to know from GGG why they changed this, because if they've changed
Yeah.
it for a reason that I'm thinking, okay, fair enough. I just don't get it. So all I'm going to say, and I'll pass the mic over to you, it's actually shocked me to a core. Sounds over to dramatic because I'm looking at going, I don't know if I want to play this game out, like in the hardcore sense, but Bryn Ruthless. Because if we want a hardcore game, then bring Ruthless in. I just, design the game how you do, because that's where the money is, softcore and trade and stuff. But I would love to play PoE 1 Ruthless, but PoE 2 version. Then I'll be off in the sunset. I'll be like, see you guys, I've got to go and play. Because I just think it's ridiculous. Over to you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's not such a concerning point if it's fair or not. But okay.
No, but that's a me thing.
Yeah, for me, it's
my
more
gaming
when I
experience.
read that, I was like, okay, this must be they are either preparing some kind of balance change in the future, or there's some really big problems for some ascendancy. I don't know. But just thematically, for me, always bleed it also makes sense, right? Like when you're bleeding and you're moving, you're getting more damage. Completely makes sense.
Yeah,
Completely makes sense. And it's an interesting mechanic. Basically, you get a debuff that increases damage if you move. So you have to be careful. If you get the debuff, you either be immune, or you have a charm against this, or whatever. In PoE 1, actually, you always take, there are pantheons, and you usually always take the one that you do not get extra damage when you're bleeding, because it is so dangerous. And for me, it's more a thematical thing. I thought, like, this maybe it makes sense from a balance perspective, and then okay, sure,
balance.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
like only GGG knows.
That's the thing. We only
don't
GGG
know
that.
That's maybe in a year nobody will talk about it and be like, yeah, this was a good change. But when I read this, I was like, but we are fucking bleeding, man. I'm bleeding, and I'm moving faster, and I'm bleeding more. I'm taking more damage. It was, for me, this ailment made so much sense in the way it worked that I was actually sad that we as player get buffed. Like that, it's basically a buff for players, right? We get less damage. It's actually
win.
It's nice. Like we don't die that much, or don't die so fast.
I got something less to think about that's gonna kill me.
But I was sad about this change. I was like, come on, we are bleeding. Can you?
I'll be honest with you. I'm pissed about it, because it's just made hardcore feel less hardcore for me.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that. Bleeding was always a mechanic, like you get more damage when you move, so don't
Do you know,
move
actually,
anymore.
bleed is a Kin of the Mists practice mechanic, because when you get the red and the purple, you have to stop moving, or you'll take or you have to keep running.
Yeah.
Bleed is like training you to actually do it's like almost like a little mini mechanic training for fighting the boss, because Kin of the Mist does that. He has his two.
Yeah, when you have the symbol, you have to stop moving, by the way. Yeah.
But you get the symbol of bleeding as well. So you're looking and go, oh, I can't stop moving, and then but it added excitement and adrenaline in your combat. Now you're taking it away. I don't know why, but for me, it just felt like, oh, has there been so many complaints? Is there?
I don't know.
There's feedback going, don't like this. It's something for softcore, because hardcore, we would think about that, don't we? We think about it and say, right, we have to set aside a resource or problem solving thing because we want to live. If you're softcore, it's like it's an annoyance, because it's like, well, we don't want this in the game. We just want to go blasting. Because they have low defenses and they have hardly any, it's like, well, I don't have to. That's something I have to think about. So is that the type of gaming that we're looking for now? It's like, well, it's no real chance. We'll take out all the stuff that could kill you, and now you just go and kill bosses.
Yeah, maybe it is maybe because so many people playing Fob guns, 2000 movement speed characters with no life, and they just insta snap die when they get bleed. You know, like they just run.
That's my point. So hence me ranting, saying about bring me ruthless, because it's like for me, hardcore is supposed to be an adventure that I don't know whether I'm going to live or I'm going to die. And that's what I look for hardcore. If you start removing like Chronomancer, that's another little indicator of. I mean, I don't have to play Chronomancer, so that's a choice thing. But a mechanic thing from the monsters in game, that's what I have an issue with, because I don't have to play Chronomancer. I can go and play Warrior, whatever it is. But the bleed, I was just like, well, that's one less danger in the world now. So the world is a much more safer place. And is that what us gamers want now? Or am I from a different generation that wants a challenging game? Because I am actually really pissed by this. Because I was just like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm on my soapbox.
Sveli points out that it works differently in PoE 2. That's true. Bleed bypasses energy shield.
That's great.
I think that's
energy shield can't
fine.
defend you against everything.
Yeah.
So it's chaos.
I mean, if you're a CI, you're immune against bleed, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe that is some of the reason. I would also like to know from GGG why this is needed. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of ascendancy, especially on the right side of the tree, that have low life and play hybrid energy shield evasion that really get punished by bleed.
Oh, what you're talking about, Infernalist?
No. I don't. I mean on the like monk and huntress and stuff.
Infernalist, you have 25% of your max life removed. In the ascendancy for spirit,
true.
So that's what I'm saying. So you go down to technically,
I mean,
you can go to 25%.
Usually you use the bleed charm, right? And so you're basically immune against this.
This is what I mean.
I don't see this as a problem. Like you have the bleed charm, and you can
exactly.
Like who cares?
You think about it. I need to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Either I solve it with an ascendancy, or I solve it with an item, or I solve it with this, or I solve it through gameplay. Whatever it is, it's now been removed. You don't have to think about it anymore. Easy win. Sure. I was just like, really?
Yeah.
That's sad. I tell you this on top, and this is the other thing that's made me feel sadder about hardcore, nerfing Monkey.
Yeah, I hated that too. I didn't care about the endgame version, but the Act 3 Monkey should have stayed as strong as he was supposed to be.
That's what I'm saying. It's these little things that have now started building up. And for me, it's my hardcore experience. What is hardcore for you?
Yeah.
It's danger. They're removing it. I mean, I haven't played 0.5. There could be loads of dangers where I'm thinking, oh, bloody hell, glad they have taken bleed out.
Yeah.
It could be a boss mechanic thing, by the way. It could be a boss mechanic thing with the bleed tech gone, oh shit, players are not going to survive against this boss if we put a bleed mechanic into it. So if they've done it for that, maybe I'm trying to find a way of going, okay, we've done this for a positive thing. But at the moment, I just think it's an L and it's sad.
Yeah, I also think it's a big L. Even though it's good for us players, we will survive longer, but I enjoyed it from a thematical standpoint. Viewpoint. This was great. It was a great mechanic. And I'm sad it's gone. Maybe it will come back at some point. Hopefully.
No. Because then they'll be like, you're trying to punish the players. Once you get rid of something like that, it's hard to put back.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let's move on. The next one is one of the biggest changes for many characters. It is the overall energy shield start time and recovery rate nerf.
Yep.
That is huge. And in my opinion, I'm not sure if this is the right angle, the way they do it. I think it's not the right angle because energy shield maximum has not been changed. So people will still run around with 15,000 energy shield and not care anything. But at least they start doing something about it. And it seems they actually want to bring down energy shield and not bring up life. Because there's no life on the tree and so on. So life is just trash still. But yeah, it's huge because
the runes might tell you differently. Who knows?
We will see. It's basically
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
It's energy shield. Start of energy shield recharge has been halved or even divided by 3 through the whole passive skill tree, and removed from almost all items, at least from all rare items. Maybe there's some uniques that still have it, but body armor up to 50% is gone. Focus up to 50% I think is gone and has been interchanged with recharge rate, which is with the weaker stat. And so now instead of you're playing Varashta and after 1 second you recharge your energy shield, you play Varashta and after 2.2 seconds you recharge energy shield. And for other characters it will be obviously slower, which I don't feel bad about. I think they need to do something about energy shield. I just don't know if this is the right perspective or the right angle to target energy shield, because you can still, for example, the Chronomancer can just zap back into full energy shield, or you can use Convalescence, right, to just start your energy shield recharge right now.
Varashta is a W because they've got -1.
Varashta increased in power, in my opinion, yes, because Varashta has this -1 second. This -1 second is worth much more now. And also the 40% more recovery
low energy shield.
on low energy shield. If you actually get this big hit, you will have a higher energy shield recovery rate, which now will matter more because overall you have less energy shield recovery rate. So I like that they go for energy shield. I'm just not sure that this is the complete right angle. I'm really not sure about that, because I still believe people with like 10, 15, 20,000 energy shield will be immortal. I still believe that. People won't die.
Yes, no. I think more yes. I think if you're melee energy like a monk,
yes,
I think it's sad times for you. Because with my wolf, I had a Varashta wolf. I knew that I'd be taking hits, so I needed that 1.5 second energy start regen to keep me going. Now it's been nerfed. I probably won't. I wouldn't play wolf with an energy shield starting over Varashta or a monk. It's definitely a druid then, so you're looking at armor and evasion. So I think that's killed that idea, which is a shame because all the best cold stuff is over at the Sork monk area, like heavy frost and the other thing. So deep freeze, I think it's called. So yeah, no, time will tell. That you can tweak those numbers. It's not like Bleed where you remove a mechanic; you're just tweaking numbers. So it still exists faster. It still exists regen. It's just But they said they're going to be doing a lot of buffs and changes or updates along till 0.1. So it's why it's a bit of a longer league. So the more we're beta testing it, really. It's a live beta test before the last beta test before 1. So we'll see. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I just wonder if this is the right angle. We will.
Well, they've actually nerfed some of the max energy shield, those. Some of it's dropped from 60% down to 50.
1.
Is it that one? Oh, okay.
They changed that from 60 to 50. The one that also gives you slower start, which you probably won't take anymore because you cannot balance out the slower start that well.
No, there was a nice 50% juicy one just around the corner from that. And you're like,
okay, whatever. I don't take this. I have 1,000 less energy shield. Who cares? And I'm not convinced that this is. I mean, I was already looking into other ways to recharge, like as said, Chronomancer, for example, can just press a button and his full energy shield again. The new monk, the martial artist, has a node to reduce this recovery rate. Like if you build up combo and you do damage, your recovery rate will decrease by the amount of combo you spend on attacks. So before the podcast, I was thinking about my Leaguestarter and I was looking into this. And if you can maybe get your like recovery rate down to like 1 second or something, like if you attack all the time, you can really shape this.
Well, that comes back to then that sentence solves the energy shield hybrid evasion model. That's good that there's an ascendancy for that solves that issue. But
I just think that
it's not a generic thing.
I think that if you have like 1.7 seconds or 2.5 seconds will not really diminish energy shield that much, because you still have this high amount of energy shield. This like you can still push the 15,000.
Yeah, it depends if you're melee or ranged.
Yeah,
really.
I agree. Melee. I played a wolf last season. As you played a Russia, I played a lich, and of course full energy shield with like 12,000 or 13,000 energy shield on a wolf, and it was by miles more squishy than an energy shield caster, by miles, because you had to be inside the enemies and you get punched all the time. You have no evasion, you have no armor. You get punched all the time, and your energy shield recharge only starts when you're out of combat. Basically, it's
taking hits.
It's for melee. If you want to play melee with energy shield, it's a bigger nerf than for range. I think for the range character, they will be fine. Like they will have their.
It's just it'll go down to your skill and your positioning.
Yeah.
So
true,
if you're in the shit and you give yourself a couple of seconds window, then boom, your ES will start again.
Sure.
Or convalescence.
Yeah, of course. You will use it more.
Yeah.
You will use convalescence.
Yeah,
more.
probably moved. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, my next point is the Chronomancer. And I like the 30% damage reduction, and I really consider this as my league starter. I'm thinking about Chronomancer or Blood Mage at the moment. And you mentioned totems earlier. I'm actually thinking about playing Blood Mage totems. I saw the video from Paltron, and it looks really cool. Yep. And I love Blood Mage, so I'm really considering playing that. But I also like the Chronomancer, the 30% like flat damage reduction of the Chronomancer. And you get the damage 4 seconds later, but if you're in hardcore, do not regenerate everything back to maximum in 4 seconds, you're doing something wrong anyways. Usually when you get big damage hits, you do not run around with 20% of your life for 4 seconds. That's not going to happen. You will either use, in this case, you can use the time back zoom thingy to recover, or you can use convalescence, or you simply have
a potion.
A potion, that's your life potion. So I really like this change, and I think this will be ridiculously tanky in hardcore. Like I think this. I've never played Chronomancer. Maybe I will in the next days during this week actually make a playthrough with a Chronomancer just to get a little bit of a feel for the skills. Because all these extra time skills to zap around. But I think this is a really cool addition. Like 30% flat damage reduction. It's ridiculous. It's a lot. Like even my Lich, I think Lich has a lot of damage reduction. Like Lich has 25% flat damage reduction to everything. And that's still less damage reduction than the Chronomancer has now.
Okay.
That's just what I wanted to mention. I really like that. I think that is very cool. Because when I look at ascendancies, because we are playing hardcore, I usually always look at the defensive options first.
Yes.
And I don't know about the other skills. I don't even know how they work. But I know the Chronomancer has a really, really good defensive skill, and damage is usually not a problem in PoE 2. There you can find
That's
something.
why I went for Ashta.
Hardcore
viable.
If you want to, you can just play plants probably. Like you can play a Tangle with the Chronomancer and it will work. You will just be able to go to tier 6 maps.
I killed Arbiter with plants.
Yeah, I also played the plant Varashta last season. Absolutely works perfectly fine. And I think you can do the Chronomancer and you actually get this huge 30% tank, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to mention to that.
I'm going probably... Oh, no, I am going to go Gemlin. But I just don't know in what way yet. Spear, crossbow, bow, spells, don't know. But Gemlin looks cool because of the new defensive upgrade. I still don't understand.
I actually don't really like this defensive upgrade because it is very conditional. Like, first of all, you lose the stacks when you get hit. And, I mean...
Like Ghost Shroud.
You probably want to stack the life one, I think, right? With strengths gems. So you get a lot of more life. You can go up to, I don't know, like 20, 30, 40% more life or something.
Nice.
I'm not sure because it feels so conditional. Like you need to build up these stacks, and when you get hit, you lose stacks, and you lose your defenses.
Yeah, but that's no different than Energy Shield, if you think, or even which is the Sorcery Ward. You build it up, you've got it, you get damage, it reduces, and then it builds back up again. No different than life.
That is actually a good point, yeah. I never thought about that this way. But that's actually a good point, yeah. True.
My God. Chat, make a note of that. One good point so far. One good point.
Yeah. But I didn't really... I mean, I can see myself maybe playing Gemlin, but not as first character. I really want to see what are the gems and which gem is actually really cool to play. So I don't really want to go in blind.
But this is why I've gone back with the meh, because
yeah,
I do crossbows to level. So when I rip, whatever class I'm playing, I just throw a crossbow on and boom, I get back into endgame. So the reason why I'm like, I quite like Ferushta because I was playing Spark. So it felt new and exciting. It was a different gaming experience. But because I'm playing Gemlin, I do crossbow. So because I don't know what the combinations of the gems are, so a league start will do that to level and get there, and then I'll, downtime, I'll look at the skills and try and work a plan out. So
yeah, when we are already at the Gemlin, I also looked into Witch Hunter, which is nerfed, by the way. So Witch Hunter got nerfed by around 15% in the armor evasion for the armor evasion node. Instead of minus 35%, it now says minus 50%. And I made some math. It is basically 13% less sorcery ward if you include the armor buff. Like they in the notes they said armor is buffed. So overall you have 13% less sorcery ward, which so Witch Hunter, I thought I maybe start Witch Hunter, but today I tested something. I did Arbiter with Witch Hunter, and I found out, I didn't know that the Omen of Resurgence can only trigger once per instance. Did you know that?
Didn't you know that?
I didn't know that.
I knew that.
Because I always thought, like, my character, the character I do, should be able to do Arbiter so you get the upgraded tablets, right? The rare tablets later. So I always thought, okay, Witch Hunter has a big problem because the sorcery ward does not block damage over time. So I thought you always just simply have 10 Omens of Resurgence, and so if you get damage over time, you just heal all the time, right?
You generally thought that?
I thought that. So and so I tried this out on Arbiter, and he does the Flame Blast, and if you stay inside, your life immediately drops, right? Because you have only 1,300 life, and your Omen heals you back. And then it drops again and you just die because the next Omen does not trigger. And I figured that out today. So Witch Hunter is out for me, sadly, as League Starter.
Because of an Omen of Resurgence.
Yeah, actually, because you cannot really reliably do Arbiter with him. Like you need to be able to tank the the flame laser when he's dropping the bomb outside.
Drops a circle.
Yeah, in the second phase, right? He's a circle and dropping a bomb outside, and he's doing the laser. And you can try to roll in, but that's super wonky. If you miss a roll, you die. So the best thing,
to him doing that.
The best chance is to just stand in there with like 10,000 energy shield and press convalescence when he hits you, and it's fine. You just tank.
You're telling me that you use the Gandalf defense, that you shall not pass.
Yeah.
And you just okay. Interesting strat.
But the Witch Hunter cannot do that. So
my plan for Arbiter always is to kill him before he starts his shithousery. Just kill him. DPS him down.
Yeah, sure. But sometimes he does the mechanic.
My Arbiter kill with plants for Ashta, he didn't do it. I managed to get him down before he started that ball and circle fireball thing.
Yeah, last season I at least I was able to, like, for me the most dangerous one is the first phase, I think, and I was able to face him
before he is fine.
Before he does the zapping around and dropping bombs everywhere. Because that one is a little bit
because if I go off screen, you're dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you play like you. If you play, actually, it's, I think for not logging out, this is ridiculously dangerous because you can even see the bomb dropping on the other side, and you could log out, but you're like, nah, I can't log out. I'm just dead. I'm just dead.
It's if I get a bad instance,
Yeah,
I'm dead.
yeah.
There we
Okay.
go. I've got two things.
I have
Deflect.
I have like 6 more, I think, or 7 even.
Have you seen the runtime of our stream or podcast?
No, because I'm streaming since.
Well, I'm at 1 hour 53. I reckon. So we're an hour and a half.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. We said an hour.
We're almost done. Almost done.
Well, I'm just going to say my 2 very quick ones.
Okay, let's go.
W for deflect. I like the rework for deflect. I'm interested.
I don't know, because it's still a conditional, right? It can fail.
Yeah, but I'm interested a little bit.
Okay.
Warbanner W no longer have a movement speed penalty during lose. So you can just boom straight down and keep moving. And now have a banner aura radius increased to 6 meters from 4.5. So because I never
played those.
Yeah, so that banner that you put down, the war banner, is 25% increased attack damage, 50% accuracy, and 25% increased attack speed. You pop that down for your boss, happy days. So that's a W. And the only thing that's actually given me a build interest, which I'm interested with Gemling, is the Mirage. I mean, I was tempted to play Deadeye to have 3 plasma blasts. Because if you socket a Mirage Archer and a Mirage Deadeye, you can actually have 3 snipes or 3 plasma blasts going off at once.
One-shotting the bosses.
So, yeah, basically. So I'm going definitely Mirage Archer because I'm looking at crossbow build. You can have 2 plasma blasts. I was going to do a plasma blast ignite. Kronal in chat, he popped the idea. He was saying he was doing it. So I've actually had a little play today with it. And Avatar Fire, plasma ignite seems quite fun. So now you've got 2. So what you can do, here we go. You can have the Mirage Archer prep up for the debuff. And you get a lot of support gems, for example, things like consume armor to do 40% more damage, or consume ailment to do more damage, or this can't bleed but does 40% more damage to bleed in things. You can now kind of set up a Mirage Archer to do the prep, and then you do the big hit, which is quite interesting because, yeah, the damage is reduced, but you can use it as the prime and you're the executioner. So I thought that was quite interesting. But if you do Deadeye, you can actually have 3. So you could have a prime, an executioner, and a follow-up. You get what I mean? So you're probably going to see some of these builds coming out.
Yeah. Please play that in hardcore. Please play Deadeye in hardcore. See that.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. It sounds like you want to do that.
No, because I think 3 is overkill. This is my issue with it. I think 3 plasma blasts. It's definitely overkill with multi-shot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, multi-shot. But as Cornell said, with multi-shot, so you can have 3 plasma blasts loaded with multi-shot. It's like but you can. So but for me, I was going to do Gemlin with Mirage Archer and some interesting combinations, hopefully.
Yeah, so
I'm not very good with snipes.
So no Deadeye.
No, it would definitely be Gemlin because I'm interested with the combination. That stuff gets my juices flowing that I can now combat, and my imagination, I can start thinking of combinations of what to do. But I'd probably do Deadeye to do a 3. That sounds fun. A Mirage Deadeye, a Mirage Archer, and me, do a triple snipe.
Okay.
So that is really all I have for my notes. Bleed. No. Yeah, that's it. Divine Orbs got increased, but I don't really care about that. So, no, that's it.
Okay, I have some quick ones, and then maybe a bit more of a rant. The first one is What about the limbs in the Templar? Do they still exist?
Good question. I think they've been.
I don't think they
No,
say it in the notes, right?
I hope they do.
No,
Log
it's
in.
not in the patch notes. So I don't know. I'm just I don't know. That's what I just wrote down for myself too. Maybe you know, but I guess they still
No.
exist because they weren't removed.
They haven't sent me a cup yet, so I'm not in contact with GGG.
The Delirium progress bar, I like it. Finally, we know how far we are in the fog. You know,
that's true.
They add a little bar. I like the change for sanctifying items, that you now have to roll them first with divination orbs, and then you sanctify them. I did not like the other version where you just throw the sanctification on it and you just pray to hit your big outcome. Now you can actually do more crafting, basically. You can roll it first and then do the random thingy. It's also divine sync, right? So probably good for a trade. I don't like that the omen of corruption is gone. I really enjoyed that you could force a corruption on an item. Now you can basically have.
I think that's a temple thing, Vow temple thing now. Using the machines to do various. I don't know, or the currency that they've got to do. I think that's why it's been removed. If you want to do corruption shit, go to Vow temple, because then that makes that league mechanic have a use.
Yeah,
because each one of the leagues have a specific use. Like Breach is more jewelry based, and Delirium's more anointment based. You get what I mean? And so that's my guess.
Then we have Leech is nerfed. I think that's good. Blood Mage Leech was completely ridiculous. Like if you reach like 20,000 life per second. I'm not much of a Leech player, so I don't know. I just thought that it's good for to like the tag for Blood Mage and the blood, like the armor that gave you the Blood Mage power basically. I think were a little bit ridiculous. Like people used life to cast their comets and they just regenerated like 20,000 life per second with Leech or something. Like,
yeah,
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have 2 more points. One normal one and then the big band at the end. The ascendancies are start to feel more and more like classes like in D&D or something. Like you actually have in all these ascendancies always so many skills that define the ascendancy, that it's sometimes hard to play. Like you cannot play some builds on other ascendancies. I really like where they come from in PoE 1, where the ascendancies are just like giving you overlaid power, but you can technically play everything on everyone. You cannot play Tame Unique Beast on a Chronomancer, for example. This ability is not like available.
Okay.
Like there are so many baked in skills in the ascendancies. It's not like I hate it. I'm not completely against it. It's more like a little bit more negative for me than a positive thing.
Okay? The words gatekeeping is probably the wrong thing, but a lot of brick walls. There's a lot of walling. You can't come in here because you're a Chronomancer, so you can't get access to Tame Companion. So there's a wall. You can't go in there. It's like barriers. There's little barriers or little mini fences. Like Minecraft fences. I don't understand it. Why can't I get over it? It's only a foot high. I can't climb it for some reason.
I'm not a big fan of this. It's similar to the all these skills they have on items, on unique items. I understand that they want to make Unix build defining, but why with skills? Like in PoE 1, you don't have this. Like you have built defining Unix, but with the ability of the unique. Not so much like you get this skill. You can only play this skill if you actually use this unique. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay. And it feels like every patch this is getting, like, it's obviously the way they will, right? I mean, obviously, like they do all the Unix with the skills, and every ascendancy basically has now skills in it. Why, for example, the Lich doesn't have that, or I think some of the warrior ascendancies don't have this that much, but now basically everyone has this.
Just a shout out. Spirit on amulets. Oh, that's naughty. It's proper naughty, that is.
What is Spirit on amulets?
What?
What is
Have you been You've been sleeping on a rock?
No, what about spiritual amulets?
You can not spiritual amulets. You get spirit gems.
Spirit. Yes.
Yeah.
That's new. Yeah, I like that.
30, 60, and 100.
You can get like Archmage or the Rage thingy, like the 100, like every aura. I think they confirmed you can get every aura on the amulet.
Yeah. Log in.
It's nice. It's good. I think I like that. I like that.
So that, if you think about it, that's not setting a barrier or a defense as a way of getting access. Like you said, actually, with the itemization, get access to other things. That's kind of what you're saying with the ascendancy.
Everybody can carry this amulet and get
just
this.
Imagine if they had an ascendancy version. Send an email to GGG. Say, take it one next step further. It's like you could get an ascendancy randomized, because there'd be like loads of them. So if you get lucky enough to get something that's useful, bit like they got the essence of corruption or whatever it is, where you put it on your armor and it chooses one passive across. So you could get like, if you're evasion chest piece and you get an evasion thing, great day. If you get an energy shield one, you'll be like, fuck's sake, I don't use energy shield. But that's what I mean. I wonder if they could do that. But the problem is with trade. Well, no, that'd be good for trade then, because they'll be trying to find it. But SSF, it's like a 1 in a million shot. But that'd be quite interesting. Going to what you were saying about getting access to ascendancies, so you can get one passive off a random ascendancy for any
you can
class.
do this in PoE1.
Yeah. So
in PoE1, there are jewels that allows you to get ascendancy points from the same ascendancy pool, right? Okay, so if you're a witch, you can get an ascendancy point from another witch ascendancy. You cannot get one from for example, a ranger ascendancy, but inside the witch thingy.
Yeah, in that umbrella.
Yeah. And there are jewels for that. You will never find them in SSF, because you have to find 2 of them. Like you have to find the right one from one boss and the right one from the other boss, which is like almost never.
Yeah.
It's a pure trade thing. Like you never find this in SSF. Okay. You must be ridiculously lucky for that, but it exists and it's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, if it exists, if the idea exists, then we might see in PoE too.
Yeah, I think so. At some point.
Right. Can I go to bed?
My last point, and my biggest rant about this. What I really hate. What I hate.
Let me take some water.
What I hate about this patch is that they do not completely squash the levels for spells and stuff. They made tiny adjustments for melee and projectiles, like from +7 to +5.
Oh, they did it with spells, did they? So you can still get +7 cold
They didn't do it with spells. And I do not understand. This is completely stupid in my opinion. It's absolutely ridiculous, because it will be the same as always. If you have a staff with like a 2-hand staff, +7, great. Does he have +6? Trash. It will be like you need at least to have the same level on the item. Like even if every other stat is better on the item than the one you use at the moment, but like the level is 1 or 2 level lower, it will be garbage compared to what you wear at the moment. And I hated that. I hated this hunt for +5 wand, +6, 7 2-handed stuff. Because it is such an important stat.
Okay.
It's the most important stat ever. And I hated this.
I agree with you. But I was in that line of thinking when I did my plants and I took on Arbiter. The first failed one, and I was like 10% of his health bar away from killing him. I didn't have a +3 amulet on, spellcaster spell skills amulet on, and I think I had a +5 staff on. Okay, so I had a +5 skill fizz spell thing for plants. When I ripped, it was on Exile again. I was going, I knew it because I knew it. So when I re-leveled and went back and did him again, and I actually did him that weekend, I just literally rushed him. I knew in my head that I was 3 spell skill levels away from killing him, like DPS him down, stop all his bullshit mechanics. So I had a +3 or maybe +2 spell skills amulet, and then my staff, I wasn't so focused on having to get +7 or +6. So with the essence, you can get +5 as standard. I managed to essence and
Yeah, I mean,
+5, and
I
then
also had
I was
+5 on my
fine.
stuff with
Yeah.
essence.
So what I'm saying is that I agree with you. If it's a +5, it's trash because you can get two, +2 to damage. It's just ridiculously strong. Um, but I don't think it's always the case. I think it's a bit of a psychological thing. You see +5 and it's like, well, it's not good enough. It's not +7. But I I think you're all right with a +5, but they have nerfed it down, but not spells going to it, which
Yeah.
is a very weird, strange thing.
It does not so
It,
matter
it,
that
it
much for
it's
melee and projectiles. I mean, it
well,
does
maybe
matter, but spells scale harder with the levels, and they nerfed it for the melee and the projectiles, and I think
I
that's very
think I know
strange.
why they've done that. I think that I know why
So
they've left it alone because attack damage scales a hell of a lot more. There's more from my feeling. I don't know 100%, but attack passive tree, there's more bonuses like 25%, 20%, 40%, and things like that. They scale attack damage on the passive tree better than what spell damage. There isn't many spell damage nodes.
there are a bunch of
There's
spell damage nodes.
not as many as attack damage or projectile damage. Or if you go down to warrior, there's
I mean,
plenty of
it often doesn't say spell damage. It often says chaos damage or fire or physical, and you pick that whatever you do. Like it
yeah.
doesn't usually
But
say spell damage.
no. So I just got in my feeling, I think attack on the passive tree, there's more scaling on there than there is spell. I think that I'm only surmising why they would keep
Maybe.
+7 because they've looked at it and gone, right, we could now balance it because that's the only logical sense. Why keep +7 cold skills or lightning skills, but only have +3
Yeah.
now it's on a two-handed weapon?
I just hope that they would, at least if they keep it, that they would have balanced the scaling to adjust it. So for example, if I have +1 spell damage or +3 spell damage, there's a difference, of course, but it's okay, the difference. But if I have +1 spell levels or tier 1, I mean, yeah, tier 1 spell levels or tier 3 spell levels, that difference is huge. That's like 50% less damage or so. The difference is gigantic compared to the other. And I think that should not be the case. It should be kind of the same. Sometimes I found a staff that had ridiculous stats on it, but just +1 to all spell skills. And it's like, this is garbage. This is worse than the blue stuff I can find in Act 1 with +3. It's terrible.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, when you pick up the staff, the only thing that first qualifies it whether it's good or not is the plus.
It's the plus. If there's a good one on it, you can look at the other stats and be like, okay, let's see.
No, I get you. It took me 2 weeks to craft my end game stuff in hardcore SSF. Okay.
Well, and that's it. That's the points I wrote down.
I think we did all right.
I think so.
Chat, did you enjoy yourselves? Give me some W's or some L's. I'm waiting for the L's now. Loser. But I enjoyed myself.
I think we have a pretty good overview about the patch, and
yes, sir.
And now we're looking forward to Friday to start the league and see if everything is actually good or bad, or as good as bad as you think it will be. Who knows?
Well, podcast is officially ended, so that's finished now. But
thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I don't agree with everything. That's why I like Excel. I don't want everybody to agree with me.
It's fine.
I know he's coming for me in chat.